Happy New Year and welcome to Unfiltered with no opening. Unfortunately, the Mac is acting like a tiny kid's computer again. So I don't know, Andrea and Bruce will have to work on that during the show and see if we'll be able to get our musical interlude and everything else. But yeah, these computers are all acting real wonky around here lately. I don't know, we're working them too hard or something, but anyway, we'll see if we'll be able to get a musical interlude at halfway through the show and credits. But if not, then we'll just rework the entire show file next week. And I was saying, this is the thing, the last couple of weeks, you know, I've been just so down, and the meds have been dragging me out that I'm on, the whole low blood pressure medicine, and I don't have it in me to fight with this stuff anymore. I hate computers. The more I do this job, the more I hate computers. Because computers are supposed to make our lives easier, not more complicated. And lately, all it's been is more complicated. But anyway, hey, what a great start to the new year. We've had friggin' snow flying since the beginning of the year, apparently. Almost every single day. What's today? Filming on the 8th, and I think there's been maybe 2 days of sunshine so far this year, if that. I don't know. It's just hasn't been good. It's been cold. It's been crappy. Been more days out of school than there has been in school. Keene High School restaurant's been closed, although we did manage to get in there today. Had a good lunch. I got to tell you about last night, because last night was actually it was Wednesday night, was the annual Chamber of Commerce Super Gala and Dinner Extravaganza, whatever it was called. There was a lot of speeches, all the big, high, muckety-muck movers and shakers in town were there. Molly Kelly was there, the mayor was there, just Chris Coates was there for some reason. I don't know why. He must have snuck in or something, tried to blend in. But I noticed him. And they had a fantastic spread. They had like on each table, there were like little cheesecakes and pieces of pie and chocolate-covered strawberries and salads. And of course, half of the program was before dinner. The other half was after dinner. So we were there filming, Lee and I. So when it came to the dinner part, there was a table in the back with nobody sitting at it. There was actually like 2 tables with nobody sitting. So we sat down, and they brought us dinner. Yeah. High muckety-muck kind of food. It was mashed potatoes that looked like soft serve ice cream, had the little twisty thing going, all browned on the top. And they were sitting on some kind of little cookie thing or something. I've never seen that before, which is probably why I couldn't be one of them movers and shakers. So I'm not used to eating potato off a cookie. And then some other big thing, it tasted like chicken. I'm assuming it was chicken. It didn't really look like chicken, but because it was like this big round puffy thing, but it tasted like chicken, so it was pretty good. A little asparagus, all tied up with a rubber band. All looked nice and pretty. Great dinner. So, and it was free. So, but we'll be airing that. They announced the Chamber of Commerce's Business of the Year, which happened to be this year the Clark Mortensen Agency. And I can't remember who got the Citizen of the Year. And I was going to write his name down, and I was too busy. So, but they announced their Citizen of the Year, and they gave him a little plaque thing, you know, and it was all real nice. I mean, I don't know, other than just getting everybody together, all the business people in Keene, and saying, look, this is pretty much, last year was a good year, next year is going to be a great year, blah, 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 blah. Here's our next speaker, blah, 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 yada, yada. All on the backsides, I think that's pretty much the whole gist of what went on last night. But it was good. And we also aired last week, what's it been, 3 weeks since we've done a show now? Something like that. So a lot of stuff has gone on. We aired the Chamber of Commerce's breakfast forum. Started airing those, and we're going to start doing a lot more production work. Lee's got it in his bigger vision now to start stretching out and doing a lot more production work, helping, actually more hands-on, helping people to produce their shows. Granite Gorge is one that we're working on. We spent 2 days last week at Granite Gorge filming a bunch of snowboarders and skiers, and we're editing that down into some type of a half-hour show. What else? We've got a new show starting called Words of Peace, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. But see, that's the thing I've noticed is setting where I'm putting the programs into the computer to air. I set the in and out points of where to start and where to end. So I see the first couple seconds of a show and the last couple seconds of every show. But that's all I see. So, and of course, other than, when I'm home watching, and I've got my favorite Cheshire TV shows. I like Grilled Dog. He's cool. As good as Luca, only a little more casual than Luca. And it's another one of those shows, that you can tell he has a good time doing it. Which is, you can watch shows where you can tell that, it's almost like a job to them. Doing a TV show, it's almost like a job. And then you've got people like us where, we don't much give a shit how it comes out. So we just have fun. And it's all about just being here. And with friends. That's what it is. Speaking of friends, I talked to Mike out in Colorado last week. He'd been having troubles with his computer, so he got his computer fixed, so now he can start watching the shows again. He's probably disappointed the Patriots aren't in the playoffs. Yeah, but then, who cares? Really, the football season is finally winding down. And as soon as football season's over, the sooner football season's over, the sooner the nice weather starts to follow in. Because football season ends, NASCAR begins, a month after NASCAR begins, baseball goes into spring training. Spring training. Yes, it will get here. And it's looking like we've got, spring of 2009, spring of 2010, spring of 2011, and spring of 2012. Because apparently 12/21/2012 is supposed to be the day that's the apocalypse is coming.
So you don't have to worry about doing your Christmas shopping that year.
2012, I wouldn't bother even sending out Christmas cards.
That's cool. All right.
Just buy alcohol.
There's a big cost savings right there.
Throw big parties. But and look around. You can start now and look around because I'm not sure exactly what the time span of the book of Revelations was with the apocalypse now, apocalypse then, apocalypse coming up. But the apocalypse that's coming up apparently has started because we're fighting in the Middle East and Afghanistan, and the Israelis are now in like this huge, it's been a 13-day thing in Israel now, fighting in Gaza. apparently with Hamas. But on Thursday, there were some missiles fired into Israel from Lebanon on Thursday morning. And they're not sure if that was from some rogue faction of the Lebanese army that hates Israel or something. But, I mean, this is a war that's been going on since what Jim and I and Greg were down here at the Fallen Down Middle School. When it wasn't called the middle school, it was simply called the junior high school.
Yeah.
And apparently the name changed when we rolled into the whole politically correct thing because they said that junior was offensive or something. Calling it a junior high school was making it less important than the high school. Some kind of crap like that. And it was given a bad name to like second generation people like me with junior on my last name. You know, it was just a whole mess of politically correct stuff. And they said, no, it can no longer be the junior high. It has to be the Keene Middle School. You know, because it's technically the middle school that you go to. Because you got elementary schools and you got high school. You need something in the middle. So, it sounds childish? Well, it is childish.
They still call junior college, so.
Good point, Jim. Junior college is still called junior college, so maybe that's not why we changed the name. Maybe we changed the name because it's easier to say KMS than it is to say KJHS.
I don't know.
They saved one letter on the sign. Is pretty much what it was. And if, I don't know. Anyway.
I don't think everybody
But yeah.
all the sixth grades went that fast.
You're right. You're right. But we're digressing because this war with Israel and Palestine and all these little factions over there, that's been going on for 40 years, 50 years, because they were talking peace talks when we were in, 2,000 years, Greg. Thanks. The problem is because one God is many gods, the birthplace is the same, and every religion wants to claim it for their own, because apparently all these major, like, organized religions never learned about sharing. It's really a sad thing, but, you know, and if Jesus can take one damn loaf of bread and a fish and feed the multitudes, well then, one holy city should be able to be shared by the multitudes. You know, without fear of being molested by Catholic priests or screamed at by Baptist preachers or ripped off by rabbis. You know? Everybody should just gather.
Where's the lightning go?
You know, it doesn't... I've got my grounding straps on, so I can't get struck by lightning. But no, I poke fun at religion because I can. You know? Because it's stupid. Plain out and simple. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're not religious. The thing is, the people that are religious are no different if you're a religious Catholic or a religious Jew. If you both love God this much, that's the way you feel. It doesn't matter, you know, Muhammad, Hare Krishna, Jesus, Allah, whatever, Mother Earth and Father Moon. You know? Different names, and it goes right back to the whole words are words thing. You know? It's not about the name. It's about the faith. And people with faith
Should be tolerant.
should follow their faith and realize that everybody else also has the right to their faith. I don't know. It's crazy. Everybody picks, if you're a Catholic, you should live here. If you're a Jew, you should live here. If you're Muslim, you should live here. Well, that's not right. You should be able to live any way you want. Where you live has nothing to do with where you go to church or if you go to church. I mean,
You shouldn't love thy neighbor with an AK-47.
no, that falls under the other adage, kill them all, let God sort them out. Right? I mean, it doesn't matter what faith you are, the only time that faith actually comes into play is when you die. That's the only time that really, when it boils right down to it, everything that you do in your life, religious or non-religious, ends the day you die. Or that's when you find out if there is something else. I mean, but there's going to be a hell of a lot of disappointed people if all this faith talk is just crap, right? Just a way to ease your mind off of severely being, severely fearful of death. The only thing that keeps a lot of people from being afraid of death is their faith, that there's something more waiting. If you had no faith, then, you knew when I die, that's it. This is my one chance, right here, to do whatever I've got to do, whatever I want to do, whatever I need to do. Right here and now. Don't go, well, I'll act this way now because later I'll be rewarded. Because then maybe you live with some slight regrets in your life. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just might as well have the mic back here. Yeah. But that's all right. Yeah, while we're setting up a crew call, I'll just do this real quick because I just heard a real little quick snippet, and I knew that I haven't been missing nothing by not watching the news. MSNBC actually did a story this week about Obama's kids going to school, to their new school. Now, when I was a kid, nobody showed up with cameras and interviewed me on my first day of school. The thing that was even worse, they actually showed the kids' lunch menus. What the Obama kids were going to have for lunch at school. And reading those menus, it looked like the same stuff I ate at the chamber thing last night. All like fancy stuff. Tomato basil soup, filet mignon, all this different stuff. And I went, geez, I bet that's a private school. Because you don't get that. It wasn't like, fish sticks and sloppy joes like we ate in school. Shepherd's pie. No, it was like all this salad and entree and appetizers and the wine list. 5th grade kids, they get a wine list. It's, when you're the president's kid, you get the best of everything. And the whole No Child Left Behind thing is only, kids like in Keene. Our kids have to go to the middle school that's falling down around them. Meanwhile, the president's kids are eating, $50 a plate lunches. So, all right. We might as well do crew call. We're ready, right, Bruce? Yeah. All right. Because we've got a good crew tonight. We've got a surprise cameraman. Jim Bemis showed up to run a camera tonight. Oh yeah, the lumen. Jim doesn't mind a little luminance though. He's bathed in that nice blue light over there. You look good, Jim.
Oh, thank you.
On camera 3, we got Greg,
Hey,
as usual, back with us. Anything going on this month, Greg, with the kid?
no,
on Thursday
well,
nights?
No, well, the end of the, no, not for third, well, sort of, but I can make it to each show.
All right.
But the end of the month, they got a concert down at Monadnock.
Oh, a concert at Monadnock this year. Oh, cool. Cool, yeah, I heard somebody talking about later in the month, Hot Jazz in January is coming up, and
Yeah, that's at Monadnock.
oh, that's the one that they're holding at Monadnock? That's the same night as something else, too, I think, some other show that high school's putting on or something. Where are we? In the booth. Bruce and Andrea.
We're in the booth with Bruce and Andrea. How you doing out there, Rick?
I'm all right, Bruce. How are you?
Not too bad. A little under the weather, and there's been a lot of weather lately. It kind of sucks being in New England right now. It's like way
Well,
too
yeah.
much snow this week. But nah, a little bit out of it with a head cold and chest cold, and decided to bail out and skip work on Wednesday with the big snowstorm we had. All the ice and sleet and crap and slush and mush and nasty. It was no fun. And then we had flurries on Thursday. 4 inches of flurries on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, gotta love this New England weather, and we still don't have our snowblower yet. So, thanks to Fireside True Value down there in Brattleboro, you guys are right on the ball. So, but,
Needless to say, they're not one of our sponsors.
no, they're not a sponsor, so
Otherwise, they'd be treating you way better.
I would hope so. Hell, I'm just a paying customer.
Yeah. Yeah, God
Go
forbid.
figure. So, but other than that, hey, life goes on. We're here. We're having fun,
Yes.
doing the show.
Yeah.
So,
I was lazy. I'm still using Tracy's screens on the back for the backdrop because I've just been lazy.
I think it still looks great, man.
It does, but I mean, people are starting to see these screens on every show because they're easy. So over the next month, I'm going to figure out, we're going to redesign the set, probably redesign the graphics, we'll do the whole 9 yards. Why not? It's a new year. So, but like I said, I've been kind of out of it too lately. When I went to my doctor's office today, my blood pressure was 90/50, which is on the low side. So I think they're going to adjust my meds, and that may help me get back up and get a little bit more energy. But, it's just working every day. And see, now that I've got a real job, not like the whole Athens pizza where you only work 5 hours a day, I work full days here at Cheshire TV. So every day is a long day. The days that we have shows that we're doing are even longer. We got a couple coming up next week. But by the end of the week, I'm just dragged out, and tired. So, but Andrea, did you? NASCAR is coming in a month.
NASCAR is coming in a month, and I'll tell you honestly, I'm not sure if I know who's driving for who anymore. We've been hoping all year long that Allmendinger, AJ Allmendinger, would get a good solid ride. Well, he got a ride. Unfortunately, Elliott Sadler is out of his ride. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with him because he was driving for Gillette Evernham, and now I don't know where he's going to be, if they're going to put him in another car with Gillette Evernham or if he's going to end up with another team altogether. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on, so I'll keep a closer watch to it the closer we get towards February when all the racing starts again, and maybe we'll have a more definitive answer on it. But yeah, Petty's merging with, gosh, I'm not sure who. It might be DEI, but I cannot remember for sure. And how they're going to play that one out is beyond me, because Petty has always had Dodges with DEI with Chevys, and how they're going to merge that is beyond my comprehension. So it ought to be real interesting. But
Hmm.
like I said, I'll keep a closer watch so that when we get closer to racing, yeah, yeah, like Bruce said, the 43 is open because Labonte's out of it, and
Well, Biffle could always go to work for Subway.
it's a real yeah. Well, Biffle's pretty much set on his job, but you're right, he could go to work for Subway. Uh, but anyways, I don't know what's going on, but so that's it on the racing end.
Yeah, there'll be more news the closer we get. The last,
Yeah.
from the middle of January on, it starts
Yeah,
trickling
I think in
out.
the next few weeks we'll start getting something.
All the teams will be announcing their drivers and who's in what spot and all
And
that
to be
stuff.
perfectly honest, I haven't been as diligent about paying attention to what's on the NASCAR site lately. I've been so doggone busy at work that I've just kind of, haven't paid attention. And like Bruce said, there hasn't really been a whole lot anyways.
Right.
So, but yeah, he's actually been keeping a closer eye on it than I have. I'm ashamed to admit. But anyway, so I'll leave it alone at there, and well, back to you, Rick.
All right. Thanks, Andrea. We'll give Greg a minute to get settled back up because I was asked to review a CD. And I've got to say, it's not a bad CD. It's a heavy metal CD. The band is called Slob. Slob. Fast food and heavy metal. It was given to me by one of the guys that produces Saturday Fright Special, and it's a friend of his. The guy's name, I believe their friend is Strefan Taylor or Steve Green. One of those two guys knows the Saturday Fright Special guys, and they're the guys that did it. It is, out of the 9 tracks on the CD, 4 of them are actual songs, and the other 5 are like little comedy interlude bits, which are heavy metal. It's heavy metal side of comedy. Your kind of sick, gross out comedy kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. One of my favorite tracks is called Roach the Drummer, and it's one of the little comedy bits, and it's the guys talking, and they're talking to Roach the drummer, who actually plays the bass, because the other guy is a better drummer, but he doesn't want to change his name from Roach the drummer because he's still got like 1 million business cards that say Roach the drummer. But it's a little confusing to their audiences when they say that on bass is Roach the drummer. And it's also tough on the drummer because everybody calls him Roach because they've heard Roach the drummer. But the drummer's name is not Roach. Anyway, it's a really good CD. The music is your typical heavy metal. Nothing real technical, but loud, and it makes you want to tap your foot. So I'll give it a whatever you give CDs these days. 2 thumbs up. Something. I don't know. 1. That's 1. All right. Some of the only news I've seen is still fallout from the elections, because apparently there's still a battle. The other night, Al Franken announced that he was the winner of Minnesota. I believe he's the governor of Minnesota or something. The guy that he's running against still says that no, he's not the winner, and they're still counting something. But apparently, last I heard, that with this 4th recount, Al Franken is ahead now by like over 100 votes. And I think they're going to count again to give the other guy a chance to stuff more ballots or something. And meanwhile, next door, 2 doors over, I think, in Illinois. Blagojevich, still in trouble, still running around acting like he's the top dog there. He's like appointing people, telling people they can be senators. Now he's told some old black dude, I want to say his name is Burris.
Reed. No, wait a minute. Burris.
Burris, right? Yeah. That he can be senator. And apparently a lot of people are against it because I don't know if we've already got a black president, so we can't have a black senator. What the rules go. Yeah, or, Obama was the black senator from Illinois, and each state can only have one black person for each job or something. I don't know. But they're talking about, he's a black guy and he's got some crazy ideas or something. I don't know. But, I mean, the elections have been over for 3 months. They still can't decide who's running the place. Meanwhile, in Washington, they've got Obama and his family living in a hotel, and it's probably not a Holiday Inn or a Super 8. It's probably, and now I don't know who pays for that either. If that's the taxpayers, or if that comes out of what's left of his campaign money, because he's not president yet.
I think he's paying for it,
Out of his own pocket?
probably.
Good.
But then the Secret Service, the government's probably paying for the Secret Service.
Yeah.
I think it'd be us.
Because I think he's already got Secret Service people that are taking his kids back and forth to school and, around like, what's his name in the movie The Pacifier?
Oh, yeah.
Vin Diesel watching the kids. But enough. We need to know who's running in all these places. I mean, we had no problem here in New Hampshire. Boom, we know who our senators are. And all our Congress people. It's Molly Kelly's our senator. For this district, anyway. And she gave a speech at the Chamber of Commerce thing last night, too. It was nice to see her. Well, I only see her once every so often when I'm out doing something for Cheshire TV and she happens to be there. Because she travels back and forth to Concord every single day that she works. And it's at least 3 or 4 days a week. I mean, that's got to be, and I'm not sure what a senator makes, but I don't think it's like, yeah, it's not that much.
They get mileage.
Oh, mileage, okay, yeah. Well, she's probably making out then. Because, 1 mile I got charged mileage for my ambulance ride. 1 mile, $13. Yeah. Tell me about it, Bruce. That's why next time is going to be the limo and the strippers. Instead of the ambulance. Not the $13 a mile.
You need a bodyguard.
I'll hire everybody. Grace, if I knew it was going to cost me that much, I would have called Jim. Jim could have came and carried me out back to the helicopter. I didn't even think of that.
I got a pickup truck.
Jim's got a pickup truck, too. We could have threw me in the back of the pickup. I wouldn't have minded. They had me all doped up on morphine. They could have dragged me through the snow out there. Morphine is pretty good. Yeah. And now they're like, cut me off. Get me out of the hospital, no more morphine for you. Like, come on. They give me all the kinds of stuff, taking all these pills, nothing's happening. And they actually took me off of one of my pills this week, which is good. And the other ones are just, some of them are forever. Well, that reminds me, I forgot to take my evening pill so far. It's out in my jacket. I brought it so that I would remember. All right. So I did that, and I did that. You think maybe we should try? Do we need what? No, I don't need it. I don't have anything to drink it down with anyway. I'll take it after the show. No problem. Should we cross our fingers and try and... This week on the Mom's Tattoo Musical Interlude, we're going to try and show you another song by the Spinning Leaves. Bye.
The song is called Transistor Radio. The only thing she had to show was a transistor radio of the people walking down the street. She was barely fazed by the shoes on their feet. Da 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 da, bum bum da da. She always likes to say hello, but the chances were rare, 'cause she was sitting so low. All she needed was a radio, but where is it now? Oh, where did it go? What happened to the radio? Oh, oh, and no one here seems to know. Oh, oh, da 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 da. Da 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 da. When the cold air set in, she took solace in a bottle of gin. Crooners say that it was not a sin, except for the man with the toothless grin. What happened to the radio? Oh, oh, and no one here seems to know. Oh, oh, da 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 da, bum bum da da. He sat with her through the night, oh, and in his arms he was holding her tight. Love would make the cold seem tried, and the two became out of mind, out of sight. Da 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 da. What happened to the radio? Oh, oh, and no one here seems to know. Oh, oh, da 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 da. Thank you.
Hey, it worked. I can't believe it. That means we might just get the credits in. I had a dilemma the other day. I went to the store, and I've been eating this 12-grain bread because it's good for you. And last week I was like a little jumpy. So when I went to the store this weekend, I bought 9-grain, thinking that it would calm me down a little. Because they didn't have like 11-grain. I can't find any 11-grain. It's like, I don't think the 9-grain is enough. The 12-grain is too much. Can't find nothing in the middle. And I don't know what it is with all the grains. I didn't know there were that many grains. I think somebody said they saw a 16-grain. Yeah. I think they're making a lot of stuff up. But it's like oatmeal. You know, I've been eating a ton of oatmeal. And I've noticed, if you buy like the maple and brown sugar oatmeal, and you buy like the fruit and cream oatmeal, there's actually less oatmeal in the fruit and cream ones than there is in the maple and brown sugar ones. So, if you're looking for more bang for your buck, get the maple and brown sugar or the plain oatmeal. There's probably way more in the plain oatmeal, and I didn't even think of that. But I mean, the doctors are all on my diet. They're all on the quit smoking cigarettes. Actually, they didn't say a whole lot about the coffee. Of course, I didn't mention to them that I drink like 3 pots a day. One to go with each pack of cigarettes. You know, and the one doctor I saw at the beginning of the week, he told me I should quit smoking cigarettes, and I said, oh, and I guess if you want me to quit smoking cigarettes, you want me to quit smoking pot too, I suppose. And he says, well, he said pot's not really as bad as cigarettes because pot doesn't have the nicotine. See, it's the nicotine, I guess, it's really horrible for you. But I guess smoking actually lowers your good cholesterol. That's one of the things that smoking does, where you don't, something that you don't associate smoking with heart health. You know, because I always figured, you know, I smoke, that's going to screw up my lungs, because that's where the smoke goes. And then I blow it out. The smoke doesn't get anywhere near my heart. But it constricts the blood vessels and lowers the good cholesterol or raises the bad cholesterol or something. I don't know. But I do have to admit, I have been feeling a little bit better. I don't think I've had a headache since I had my heart attack, which is weird. But, you know, I met my primary physician today. This morning, I had to go see him. He kept me waiting for over a half an hour. Thanks very much. And I can't figure that out. I'm supposed to pay him a crap load of money. But if I have to sit in the waiting room for an hour, I don't get to bill the clinic. You know, my time's valuable. Just ask Lee. He knows. I could probably charge the hospital. What's that, Bruce? $300 an hour? That's close. But, you know, if I have to spend an hour in a doctor's office, that messes up my entire day. And, you know, last year when I was at the races, talking to them TV people, just a simple, stupid-ass, high school educated camera operator makes $400 a day. So, if you blow an hour on my time, it's worth $400. Easy. Yeah. And, I mean, that's what I get paid here. Cheshire TV. Big money operation. Not really, because we haven't seen a check from the city this week yet. We've been waiting for one for 2 weeks. Just, you know, I didn't tell Lee that I was going to start screaming on the show about it, but he was talking about, you know, he hasn't heard from them, and, you know, he'll pull the plug. I know he will. And he'll get somebody's attention. But I, you know, just this minute, I figured, maybe I'll just say something. Because maybe it's better from out of my mouth than out of Lee's mouth. But there's no need for that. Cable customers pay Time Warner a month in advance. And the city should get the check to Cheshire TV. Lickety-split. Wow, when was the last time you heard that?
Yeah, but the cable ain't getting the money because they were out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, the cable bills are all screwed up. Cable bills, electrical bills. Because when power goes out, the cable companies and the electric companies don't really know how to charge people. They just know that they had millions of people calling them, screaming and bitching that they didn't have any power, didn't have any cable, and they can't just collect the money. I think Mom, actually, we didn't lose power at all. And Mom got an electric bill for like $80 or something. And she called them and said, this seems a little high. And the public service company told her, oh, well, we just estimated this month. So apparently that's what they do. If they can't figure it out, they just make shit up. Go, oh, this guy, he lives in a mansion. $100. Look at this guy. He lives in a tent. $400. We don't care. The guy in the house, the guy in the mansion was out of power for 3 days. So he should pay less than the guy in the tent that didn't lose his power. Because he didn't start with power either. So I've talked about that. I've talked about doctors. I was going to say other stuff about doctors too, and I can't remember what else I was going to say. Oh, my primary care physician guy. I had to go see him today because I was told by the people that fixed me in Dartmouth that now that I've had a heart attack, I have to have a primary care physician. Apparently this is the rule. You can't just like get sick and go to the hospital and get fixed. You gotta like get sick and then call your primary care guy, and then he makes an appointment for like 3 months down the road because that's his first opening. And then you go and see him and he goes, oh yeah, you're sick. You should go see this doctor at the hospital. You probably should have seen him before you got that big rash. But seeing as how there's like a 3-month waiting list to get to a doctor, you know, but I basically went in and I said, look, here's my theory on doctors. You can be my doctor, but don't ever expect to see me. And when you do see me, expect me to be in bad shape. He had, the exam room I was in had a little chart on the wall with like happy faces. Went from like a almost happy face to a really sad face, and it was the 1 to 10 pain scale. But I interpreted it in a different way. I saw the little happy face over on the side with no pain with the insurance policy in his hand. And I saw the other guy with the sad face and the number 10 pain, no insurance. And that's basically the scale. If you've got insurance, your pain level is 0. If you don't have insurance, your pain level is 10. Because if you don't have insurance, the only time you go to see a doctor is when your pain level reaches 10. Because you don't want to spend the money. That's my thoughts anyway. When you see me, write down 10. Because that's the pain I'll be in. Otherwise, don't look for me. You know, don't make an appointment for me to come in so you can listen to my heart, listen to my lungs, take my blood pressure, my height and weight, send me out the door and charge me $300. I can do that shit myself. Blood pressure machine you can buy at Walgreens for $29.95.
Just go and put your arm in the thing.
I've got a thermometer I can take my own temperature with, and I'm pretty sure it's an oral thermometer. I know it doesn't taste like shit, so it's probably an oral thermometer. So I figure a rectal thermometer is probably going to taste bad. And I can buy a scale. Yeah. So I can do my own height and weight. I can, you know, stand against the door and make a mark and then take a tape measure myself. I can weigh myself. I can do my own blood pressure. I can, you know, I don't need to see a doctor for all that stuff, especially expensive doctors. You know, and this week I saw 2 within 3 days. I went in, I thought about telling them completely different stories. You know, just to see what the repercussions would be. You know, tell one doctor one thing, tell another doctor another thing. Why not? That's why you have 2 doctors.
So you get extra drugs.
So you can get scripts from both of them. They still won't prescribe pain pills for me. Apparently, because I'm walking around and I'm talking, I'm not clutching my chest and sweating, they're not going to give me any good pills. But let me tell you, when I walked into that emergency room, first thing they did was the pain pills. He's in tough shape. Give him some pills. Give him a shot. You walk in for a normal doctor's visit, it would probably be better if that's what they did. Go in, the nurse comes in, says, "Whoosh, here you go, a little bit of morphine, enjoy your visit."
At that point, you wouldn't care how much it cost.
Nope, and it really sucks when you leave, they say, "See you soon." Like, maybe not. Maybe just find me another doctor, a witch doctor. We got 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes. We got some minutes. We do a few of these. Because I'll get riled up, bring my low blood pressure back up to normal. I start screaming about doctors much more. But see, it's that, and this is, I know I keep hammering and hammering and hammering this. I shouldn't have to be rich to be healthy. I shouldn't have to see, people shouldn't want money from me for me to be healthy. I should be able to be healthy. The government, I mean, you want to talk socialistic stuff, yes, then medicine is one of the things that you should socialize. You don't just go, okay, people become doctors because they've got a shitload of money to throw around when they're young, so they go to medical school. No, if somebody wants to become a doctor, they want to become a doctor, and if you go, look, the only way to become a doctor in the United States is you go in the military. You don't go in the military to fight a war. You go in the military to be a doctor. And we teach you how to be a doctor. And we start off letting you insert rectal thermometers or whatever, teach you all the things that you need to know. Meanwhile, you're getting a government salary, like a soldier would do. And then after all the training, you move from like a military designation into like a government service designation. You still get a government paycheck, but it's not going to make you rich. A lot of people become doctors because they go, well, I'll become a doctor and I'll make a lot of money in my life. Until they run across patients like me. And you know, I wouldn't mind paying outrageous doctor fees if once in a while one of them would invite me to their summer place and let me ride their boat. Plain and simple. If my doctor would say, Rick, come and spend a week in July at my lakefront mansion and have full use of the speedboat and the water skis and the paddle boat and everything else, then maybe I wouldn't feel so bad about paying doctors. But I've never been invited to a doctor's house. Never. When I was a kid, doctors used to come to my house. And I don't remember my parents ever getting bills from like the pediatrician guys. So, but that's all I'm saying. The government, they should be on a government salary. You know, not a piddly, you know, teacher's salary. You know,
A good salary.
a good median salary. You know, something in the middle, average. What's wrong with being average? That's what I want to know. All these people striving to be the biggest, the best, the richest, the fastest. Why? Just to be average. Makes doing the numbers a lot easier. And speaking of numbers, it was so funny at lunch today when we got ready to pay. The girl rang up Lee's ticket, and she turned around, and it was like $6.50 or something. And she said $6.50, and Lee gave her a 20. Well, Scott Rogers, the teacher, was standing right there. She turned to him and said, how do I do the from 20 in the cash register? She was gonna do 20 cash tended so that it would read how much to give back. Let me tell you what a great teacher Mr. Rogers is. He said, I'll show you how you do that. You go 650, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. And that's how you count back change. What a brilliant thing. And maybe I shouldn't have said anything, because now he'll probably get screwed at work for actually teaching the kids something that they're going to use. Sorry, Scott. But I applaud you anyway, even if I'm the only one. All right. Let me read a few of these. I got some animal useless facts. Although this one is not very useless, it's pretty good, and the spring will be coming. So for those of you with bird baths, the optimum depth of water in a bird bath is 2.5 inches. Less water makes it difficult for them to get fully watered down, and more water makes them afraid. Roosters can't crow if they can't fully extend their necks. So if you grab a rooster and you hold them together like that, he won't be able to crow. To survive, most birds must eat at least half their own weight in food each day. Yeah. Yep. If you eat like a bird, you're eating a lot. Yeah. You can cut up a starfish into pieces, and each piece will grow into a completely new starfish. I tried it one time. Dolphins jump out of the water to conserve energy. See, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Because it seems like it would take a lot more energy to jump out of the water. But it says it's easier to move through the air than through water. Less friction through air than water. Which reminds me, if you're running real fast in the wintertime, shouldn't you get cold? Shouldn't you get warm? Because the friction of the air across your skin would build up heat. Dolphins kill sharks by ramming them with their snouts. 20 seconds? All right. Up next on No Spin, they didn't know. I called Randy today, they didn't know. They invited 2 state reps, and they have no idea who's going to be on the show. I want to thank Mom's Tattoo, Gemini Screen Print, thank my whole crew. Till next week, peace.
Hi, this is Mikey from Orange County Choppers, and you're watching Channel 8.
Thanks, man.